Your morning news continues now on KTRH.
KTRH News Time is 8:16, and joining me right now, Lake Jackson Congressman Dr. Ron Paul, presidential candidate. Dr. Ron Paul, and feisty, fiery, already up running this morning. Congressman, I'm very impressed, sir.
Thank you. Nice to be with you this morning.
Congressman, I've got you in the lead by 57% on my poll, KTRH.com, on the Matt Patrick blog. Fox has got you winning this thing last night. You feel good about what took place last night?
Yeah, I certainly do, because it seems like we have steady growth in the campaign and, of course, steady increase in the interest in what the things I've been talking about for years. So it's been growing this way for years, but certainly in the last several weeks, dealing with the straw vote, I think it's getting better all the time for us. So we're optimistic, but we're not making any wild predictions.
Congressman, obviously last night there was a lot of back and forth between you and Santorum about Iran, and I just want to take you back a little bit. If I can just kind of paraphrase, and correct me if I get any of this wrong, it appeared to me, it sounded to me, as it did to Santorum, that you are okay with Iran's nuclear program, and you are, I guess you were suggesting that we should just basically leave them alone and let them develop nuclear weapons if they want to do that. Did I get that wrong?
Well, the first half is a little bit different than what I really believe. I'm not okay with hardly anybody having nuclear weapons because I think they're so useless and dangerous and all these things. I'm not okay with Pakistan having them or India having them, Israel having them, and we have too many. So, no, I'm not okay with it. But what I'm not okay with is that it's reason to go to war. This is what Santorum's arguing. You know, that bill that he talked about when he was in the Senate is actually a declaration of war. It was for regime change. And that's what I oppose. And then I pointed out that there was the same type of talk about the fear-mongering and how Iraq was going to attack us. Iranians can't attack us. They don't even have an air force. They don't have intercontinental ballistic missiles. And and our own CIA says they're not very far along. They may be wanting to it, but they are a long way off from a bomb. To decide that we have to go in there and do something about it, that's what they want to do. Mm-hmm. And, we're already bombing. It's hard to keep up with how many countries we're bombing. It's 5 or 6 now. To start another war just makes no sense whatsoever, especially since we're broke. So, and I also made the point that, we stood down the Soviets and they had 30,000 of these. And this country doesn't even have one. And the other point is they are so third world, they can't even make enough gasoline for themselves, and they have all this oil, and we're supposed to be intimidated by them? We just don't need another war.
We are joined this morning, and I love talking with you, Congressman. Congressman Ron Paul, Dr. Paul, presidential candidate Paul, a man of many faces. Last night, you got a lot of applause when you said one particular thing, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to ask you about what you meant and why you think you got so much applause last night for this statement. And last night, Congressman, you spoke about bringing our troops home. And this was very interesting. You said we're going to bring them home, or you'd like to bring them home from Afghanistan, from Iraq, from all of the wars that you suggested that we're either fighting officially or unofficially. And you got tremendous applause for this. Is that something that you think this country can do without serious ramifications?
Well, the serious ramifications comes by us staying, because it is bankrupting our country. The wars are undeclared. They're not making us safer. It's a fallacy to believe that we're there to protect our freedoms, because the war atmosphere actually undermines our freedom, because they pass things like the Patriot Act that intrudes on our freedoms. So, no, we cannot sustain it, either because it undoes our national defense, and it's just spending these trillions of dollars. And the people's attitudes have changed. 4 years ago, I would not have gotten that type of applause for that. Now it is. The people know it. And this is also the reason why the large majority of the American people now are very upset about what Obama's doing in Libya. I cannot believe if they understood exactly what's going on with Iran, they will not be very anxious to start a war with Iran either.
Congressman, one final question here. You are number one in my poll on my website, KTRH.com. You're number one as far as the people saying that You won this thing last night on Fox's poll. You've run for president before. You've never had a huge showing. You're running again. You win all these polls, but you never seem to do well, when it comes election time. Does this bother you? I mean, does it ever depress you?
No, not really, because I'm always surprised on the upside. 4 years ago, my expectations were not super great, and I thought we did better than I ever dreamed of, and we walked away from that with a huge organization of young people and supporters, and that motivated them to stay organized for the last 4 years. This campaign is many folds further along than the last one, the last campaign 4 years ago. So, and people now, we even have people like Newt Gingrich talking about auditing the Fed. We have the loud applauses for bringing the troops home. So we're winning our arguments. And I'm convinced it's more than politics. You have to change people's attitudes and minds and understanding. So it's an overwhelming task for what I'm doing in the sense of trying to change and reverse 50, 60, 70 years of bad economic policy and a bad foreign policy which has been with us for 100 years. So the progress we're making, I personally am very pleased.
Congressman, I thank you for your time. Congratulations on a great showing last night.